And a Peoria pastor's dream to bring fresh groceries to the South Side is still a dream, even after 1,600 days. Pastor Chuck Brown has secured more than $2 million in grants for his CJ Harvest grocery store project. Despite receiving significant funding, including $1.7 million from the Illinois Grocery Initiative and an additional $200,000 from Peoria County's federal pandemic relief funds, as well as contributing thousands of dollars of his own money, the store has yet to open. The project, which began in 2021, aims to address a food desert on Peoria's south side. Chuck says the building now has all the equipment they need, and what remains is final construction and inspections.
Well, this project is really bigger than Chuck Brown. Didn't take a few years for the south side to be in the condition that it's in, and it took us just a few years to get this process accomplished, and we feel because of the importance of what this means to the community, it certainly was worth every day it took to get to where we are today.
Chuck says new work permits have already been approved by the city of Peoria. The timeline is now in the hands of contractors and inspectors, with his team estimating an opening in hopefully the next 2 to 3 months. And another community event in Pekin is raising awareness through sports. Pucks for Autism returned on Saturday, bringing 2 local teams together on the ice. The Union Tradesman Hockey Club faced off against the Central Illinois Veteran Warriors in an exhibition game. No official winner, but a shared goal: raising money and promoting acceptance for people on the autism spectrum. For some players and volunteers, the cause is a personal one. John Roger, a volunteer who helped bring this event to Pekin, says he has family and friends who are autistic, and he uses hockey to show the sport is open to everyone, and he wanted to get people involved in helping their community.
I just want to help bring that to light, the acceptance of it, and also to help show that, just because you're autistic doesn't mean you can't play hockey. Hockey's for everybody. We always say that, and I take that seriously.
Money raised by this event will be distributed as grants to organizations and programs supporting autism-friendly activities, inclusion efforts, and educational resources for families and individuals on the spectrum. Moving now to state news, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is demanding that President Donald Trump issue a tariff refund checks worth billions of dollars. Pritzker wrote the letter to Trump on Friday after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled most of his sweeping tariffs were illegal. The Democratic governor demanded a refund of $1,700 for every family in the state. He estimated that would be roughly $8.7 billion. He also posted the letter on social media, writing, quote, "Cut the check." He also shared an invoice marked "Past Due, Delinquent." Governor Pritzker signed an executive order earlier this week aimed at energy affordability and planning for future nuclear development across Illinois. The order directs the Illinois Power Agency and Illinois Commerce Commission to issue a notice of inquiry to potential developers and existing plant owners interested in expansions or uprates. They will collect information including reactor types, costs, timelines, economic benefits, and safety and environmental standards, with recommendations due to the governor within 150 days. The administration says that the effort could support up to 2 gigawatts of future nuclear capacity, which is enough to power up to 2 million homes, with construction beginning by 2033. The order allows local governments to voluntarily express interest in hosting a facility. And early voting has begun for midterm primary elections. We're covering the candidates, and tonight we're taking a look at District 17, where incumbent Eric Sorensen is running uncontested, and 2 Republicans are vying for a spot on the November ballot. This is your introduction to the people running for the spot. Despite their differing parties, Democrat Eric Sorensen and Republicans Dylan Vansel and Julie Bickelhaupt agree on the importance of agriculture in District 17.
We need to understand how we can build the carbon resiliency in the soil so that the yields go up.
I'd love to be a part of the Ag Committee. We are in one of the top ag producing districts in the country.
We want to make sure that we put farms into good people's hands that have a lot of experience, and you get that with family farmers. Understanding what has inflated some of the costs like fertilizer and potash.
Bickelhaupt says all those prices are downstream of power costs, so she wants to address energy first. Both she and Vansel say they want to tap into more coal power.
When the energy costs are high, trucking's high, fuels are high.
We have to get our electricity and other utilities under control.
We need to make sure that wind and solar are a part of this. But also, I am a supporter of nuclear energy.
Vansel and Bickelhaupt also express support for nuclear development in the state. Speaking of energy, the trio also weighed in on the heated topic of data centers in the district.
When we do welcome data centers to the land of Lincoln, data centers should have to produce their own power. They should put power onto the grid.
Understand fully what that encompasses, how that would affect the area, and make the decisions based on that.
You know, I don't know enough about that space yet to really have an opinion one way or the other. But at the end of the day, the amount of power that it takes to keep these data centers running, we don't have it here in Illinois.
In Peoria, Kent Davis, 25 News. And coming up next on 25 News, after an abnormally warm week, we are keeping things chilly this weekend. Kimberly Gomez has your full First Alert forecast.
It's a new name with familiar faces and some big shoes to fill.
And a $10,000 test drive giveaway. The new Elfring Montgomery Chevrolet.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, you can shop the same great prices you'd find in store. And we bring the groceries right to you, so you can catch more family time. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Love is in the air at Mike Miller Hyundai during the Love What You Drive sales event. Love the deals like new 2026 Hyundai Tucsons and Santa Fe's with 0% for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. Or lease the 2026 Palisade, just $349 per month during the Hyundai Getaway sales event at Mike Miller Hyundai on the corner of Pioneer Parkway and Harker Drive. Or shop anytime at MikeMillerHyundai.com.
It's a Mike Miller Minute.
Good news. Frontier is joining Verizon, bringing wildly fast fiber internet together with America's best mobile network. Get incredible speeds.
Stay with me now.
Reliability and big savings. And there's more good news. For a limited time, Frontier customers can get our best offer. Switch to Verizon and get 4 mobile lines for just $20 each.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, Frontier and Verizon. Better together.
One night, 4 heart-stopping events. The most electrifying show on dirt returns. Bass Pro Shops presents the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour. Watch top bull riders take on the toughest bulls. Feel the speed with championship barrel racing. And witness the madness of freestyle bullfighting. And the party continues with live performances by Sam Barber,
Straight and narrow,
and Tyler Nance.
Don't know why.
All happening Saturday, March 21st at Peoria Civic Center. Go to bullsbandsandbarrels.com or Ticketmaster.com.
Finding new adventures and extra confidence and extra miles and room for everyone and standout style. Get 3.9% financing on the 2026 Equinox, plus no monthly payments for 90 days, plus $750 cash allowance for current Chevy owners.
Every weekday, it's 25 News streaming at 3:30 with Janice Rebholz, your afternoon update on the big stories impacting Central Illinois.
Here's the latest on that downtown water main break.
Plus, your 25 News First Alert, preparing you for what's next.
Big changes in the weather forecast.
Live local streaming news from the team you trust.
A lot of folks dealing with some of the big-time cold.
It's 25 News streaming at 3:30. Search WEEK 25 News on your TV to start streaming for free.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is just $4.99 a pound with your card. And select packs of soda are buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You're watching Skywatch Camera Network, brought to you by Sam Lehman & Morton, the #1 Ram dealer in the whole Midwest. Where we do the deals, no one else will.
Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Well, things are feeling so much different across central Illinois as now we do have colder conditions across the region, and we've been feeling it all day today. Even as we look ahead for your Sunday, bitter cold and blustery Sunday ahead. And then we're also expecting another midweek warm up. So just hang on tight because 50s could be on the way once again. And we're also tracking a system that could bring the potential for some rain and the possibility of wet snow as we look ahead midweek. We take you outside in our Skywatch network where temperatures are currently sitting in the upper 20s, 28 in Peoria, 29 Twin Cities, Pontiac, 28 Lakin, 26 Galesburg, and 32 out in Lincoln. However, we do implement the winds that gives us your feels like still in the teens across central Illinois, and numbers today only reached a high of 35 degrees. That's about 6 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. As we look ahead for this evening, though, we will continue with mostly cloudy conditions. Temperatures will remain in the low 20s, but overnight lows, though, back down into the teens. And as we fast forward things to tomorrow, notice those winds picking up 30-mile-per-hour winds, so it will be pretty gusty out there, especially